The news, good evening. The Island Development Company, the IDC, has welcomed the decision by the Supreme Court quashing the MAIB report on the Seahorse incident. The Marine Accident Investigation Board, MAIB, had investigated and produced a report on the incident where IDC-operated vessel Seahorse caught fire and sank off the coast of Koetivi in August 2018. 3 Seychellois and 1 foreigner are still missing and have been declared dead by the Supreme Court. IDC's Chief Executive Officer, Glenny Savi, says that it is what the company wanted to prove, that the report was not impartial and professional, adding that the report also created problems with the insurance company.
The report was all about attacking IDC and myself personally. The people who have been most affected by that have been the family members who are waiting for some form of closure. In fact, in the very beginning, we had pointed out to MAIB there were shortcomings in their report and that they should consider withdrawing it and addressing the issues fairly. And had they done that, this matter would have been closed many months ago. But they chose to stand their ground, and it gave IDC no option but to seek a judicial review. And as I say, we also had the situation where, because of this report, the insurance company SACOS chose to indicate that that IDC was so negligent, therefore it was one of the reasons that they were turning down the claim. And by turning down the claim, the people who were most affected were the owners of the vessel and the families of those persons who have now been declared deceased by the courts, who were adversely affected. And that's the sad part about it.
The Minister for Education and Human Resource Development says the government maintains its decision to defer to next year scholarships for students qualified for overseas studies this year. The decision is due to the financial difficulties the country is going through because of the COVID-19 pandemic. Minister Jean Simeon explained to the National Assembly this morning following a question by the leader of the opposition that the priority was to continue payment of scholarships for students already following courses overseas, and that this year's cohort will proceed for further studies next year, all depending on the economic situation then. This year, 53 A-level students and 66 from other post-secondary institutions have qualified for scholarships. There has been a reduction of 33.8 million rupees in the budget for the agency responsible for students' overseas training due to the COVID-19 situation. Over 50% of the houses under government's 24 houses in 24 districts in 24 months program have so far been completed and allocated to their owners. The Principal Secretary for Infrastructure, Yves Shopi, says that the project has allowed clients to get a house in their own districts, and the ministry has been able to improve on the quality of the houses they offer. 3 projects are late for completion due to the existing tenants in the flats that needs to be demolished. This is in the English River, Plaisance and Port-Glo districts. Since the program started in 2017, 326 out of 575 houses have been allocated to owners. This morning, Daniel Valencia testified before the Commission for the Truth, Reconciliation and National Unity. He gave more details on the fight that cost Philippe Laporte his life in December 2000. Daniel Valencia said he was present at the scene of the dispute, which he said resulted from a sudden stop of a vehicle. According to him, the person responsible for the death of Mr. Laporte was on good terms with the government at the time and would have been protected. Specialized services at the Besantan, Praslin, and Logan Hospital on La Digue have resumed. The services were partly suspended during the period of restriction because of the COVID-19. To limit the spread of the virus, the acting nurse manager for Praslin and La Digue Hospital, Myra Ernesta, says they are operating on appointments and under strict sanitation conditions.
After the COVID-19 restriction, we have put in place appointment system for all our visiting specialists. And we are educating the public to wear masks if they feel that their social distancing is being compromised. We don't have enough space to cater for a lot of people under the clinic. The health center itself is quite congested, especially in the visiting specialist days. So the public have to maintain their appointment so that the social distancing policy is being maintained.
Despite the many attempts to educate people to dump their rubbish in the appropriate places such as bin sites and landfill, many are still dumping their wastes to undeveloped and hidden places. One of such places is Iloro Perseverance near the Ancetoile Junction.
People are dumping not only broken fridges and toilets, but sensitive documents such as letters, bills, and photo albums, all in one piece. Officers from the Department of Environment investigated the place yesterday and says it will not be difficult to identify where these rubbish are from. Rather than a quiet settlement by getting the offender to pay a small fine and dispose their wastes, they will be taken to court and face a fine between 100,000 rupees and 1 million rupees. Officers from the Landscape and Waste Management Agency, LWMA, also visited the place and says contractors were paid to clean this whole area earlier this year. It says having to pay contractors to clean up this area once again will have a negative impact on the country's economy because the money could have been used to help a family who needs financial help. Both the Department of Environment and LWMA are strongly encouraging people to take their responsibility and ensure their rubbish are placed in its appropriate places.
And with this, we've come to the end of this news summary. Thanks for watching.